Yo, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and double honor to the Apostle of Great Millstone, man. Gonna do a little video, man, just basically on this Dallas shooting, more or less, which is just seems, the more information that comes out, the more it seems like a false flag, and even it's definitely a false flag, man. More or less, this is just an event that's going to be used more to give more power to the police and to basically as justification for more oppression of Jake in America, man, and to lead towards a strict martial law order, man. But I'll start off with this article in The Guardian, man. It's titled Dallas Sniper Profile, Michael Johnson was sent home from Afghanistan. It says the man who shot and killed 5 female police officers is accused of sexual harassment by a female officer in 2014. It says the Army veteran who shot and killed 5 police officers during a protest in Dallas on Friday had been sent home from Afghanistan after being accused of sexually harassing a fellow soldier. Michael Xavier Johnson, who fatally shot 5 officers and wounded 7 more before police killed him with a remote-controlled bomb, lived with a family in the suburb of Mesquite, or Mesquite, however it's pronounced, where he played basketball for hours at a time. Friends said the 25-year-old didn't have interest in politics, but his Facebook page showed he liked black militant groups, including the African American Defense League and the New Black Panther Party, which was founded in Dallas. So more or less they're just painting this guy as a black extremist, a radicalized black extremist. And there's another article as well that used the term, after he came back he got radicalized as a black extremist and a terrorist, man. That's what they want to do, and they're going to paint that whole image over all of Jake, man. So his profile photo showed him wearing a dashiki and raising his fist over the words Black Power, and his cover shot carried the red, black and green Pan-African flag. Because more or less what they're trying to do, they're trying to use those so-called militarized Jake groups, black groups, not Jake groups, really they're black groups in America. They're just trying to use those to victimize Jake, to make Jake into the criminal, into the terrorist, and then so the so-called white man can be the victim, man. Because this guy he's a #1 victim player. I'm going to get into that word after as well, man. It says, for 6 years, starting in 2009, Johnson served in the Army Reserve as a private first class with a speciality in carpentry and masonry. The military said in May 2014, 6 months into his Afghanistan tour, he was accused of sexual harassment by a female soldier. It says the Army sent him back to the US, recommended an other than honourable discharge, said Bradford Glendening, the military lawyer that represented him. The recommendation was highly unusual, Bradford said, since counselling is usually ordered before more drastic steps are taken. So more or less, his crime wasn't even something you get discharged for in a normal situation. But then they're saying, okay, it was suggested that he should get kicked out. So that means something else. Must be a fucking fire from there. It says more or less his crime that he committed, that sexual harassment thing, isn't even really something you get discharged for. So more or less for him it to be suggested for him to get discharged, there's something else going on. And then lo and behold, what he does when he comes back, you can tell that he was at MK Ultra, or he was set up in a certain way, just so he'd do these things, man. It says in this case, it was apparently so egregious that it was not just the act itself. Glendening told the Associated Press. According to a court filing Glendening read over the phone on Friday, the victim said she wanted Johnson to receive mental help while also seeking a protective order against him to keep him away from her and her family wherever they went. Johnson was ordered to avoid all contact with her. So like he must have done some dodgy shit to her, and then basically they took him. And if he's saying he needs mental help, he might have been not all there in the brain. So they know like, yo, this is a guy we could use to put certain plans into motion, man. And it says, Glendening said Johnson was set to be removed from the Army in September 2014 because of the incident, but instead got an honourable discharge months later. somebody really screwed up, he said, but to my client's benefit. So he's in this caught up in this situation, and then some shit happens, and then he gets off with everything cool. And then it says, when authorities searched Johnson's home on Friday, they found bomb-making materials, ballistic vests, rifles, ammunition, and a personal journal of combat tactics. The Dallas police chief, David O'Brown, said Johnson told negotiators before he was killed that he was acted alone and was unaffiliated with any group. The chief said Johnson cited the fatal shootings of black men by police officers in Louisiana and Minnesota, which prompted the protest march in Dallas and many other cities. So more or less, this guy, he was in the army, he did something where he should have got discharged, where he should have got caught up on, but then he gets off cool, he gets honourable discharge, gets a guy of his honour, and then he comes back, and suddenly he radicalizes, becomes an extreme black militant, and then goes out and shoots up some cops, man. Obviously, these guys, they got to this guy, they were like, yo, this is a guy we can use, and then they MK Ultra, whatever they did to him, set him up just so he could go and pull these things off, man. Because all you can see is clearly a set-up event, man. Because of racial tensions in America, they've been building up since they brought out Trump. They've been slowly brewing up that racial tension, and lo and behold, them two shootings, everyone was talking about them. So that means they'll push it, they want everyone's attention on it. So when the rally happens, they say, oh shit. So because of these shootings, now they're taking revenge. That's why they say, oh, civil war. They're getting everyone prepped for that race war, man. That race war that's in America is going to come over to the UK. Because even over here as well, they're doing, they meant to have done last night a Black Lives Matter march or whatever. They're meant to do another one tomorrow morning in the same spot we're in now teaching, Oxford Circus. So certain things could happen over here as well. Let me get a scripture on that, man, because more or less, well, this sums it up, man. Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, man. And that pretty much sums up Jake, man. In the society, Jake was a nation not desired. Jake was taken over to America in cargo slave ship, put into hardcore bondage, completely fucked up, had their identity stolen, and then they're just like, okay, now they turn them loose. They got their empire built, they turn them loose and just said, whatever, live in your ghettos and whatever the fuck, man. And they're just treating them like pieces of shit. So that's why. Hey, look, man, this Jake's not desired over here, man. Esau's more or less, he's got use out of Jake, and now he just wants to get rid of him, man. That's part of his plan with the elites, man. They want to completely exterminate Jake and just have this kingdom established, man. But that's not going to come to pass. Yo, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna bring an end to all these things that they're planning, man. Let me get another article, man, because this one. No, sorry, man. I'm in the middle of something. It says, okay, this one's on Media Matters, and the title of it is, well, Media Matters for America. It says the worst right-wing media reactions to Dallas police shooting. And I go down to where is it? Yeah, it says, okay, so Rush Limbaugh, it says Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group committing hate crimes. And that's more or less what they're doing, man. By using the pretext of, oh, there was a march behind it, they're saying, okay, now Black Lives Matter, they're an extremist group, man. That's more a terrorist group. They're terrorists. These niggas are terrorists, and they need to get wiped out, man. It says radio host Rush Limbaugh told listeners that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. They're quickly becoming a terrorist group committing hate crimes from the July 8th edition of Premier Radio Networks. So they're already pushing out the rhetoric of Jake as a terrorist, man, which is one of their main objectives by using this nigga, man. And the one underneath it is radio host Joe Walsh says, you did this Obama, you did this liberals, you did this hashtag Black Lives Matter. It says time to defend our cops, wake up. So more or less, these guys, these fucking Edomites, they're upset. They're seeing cops getting shot down. They're upset. Now they're thinking, fuck these niggas. We need to take these niggas out, man. Let me get another precept on that, man. Revelation 12 and 12. Woe to the inhabitants. No, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know if he have but a short time. So more or less this shows, yo, Esau's getting to that time of wrath, man, that great wrath, because he realised, hey, it's coming short, man. You can see with the Brexit, with certain things happening in the EU, the EU trying to get their own army. There's certain things they're getting ready for, man. You got enough troops. I think it was Canada. I think the US has put more, like 1,000 more troops into Poland, NATO troops into Poland. And I think Canada put 1,000 more into another country. I'm not sure I can remember. So they're getting ready for that Third World War, man. That Third World War is getting ready to kick off, man. And that more or less it's stirring up the racial tensions. That's getting everyone prepared for this Third World, these race riots to kick off, man. Well, one more thing I wanted to get, man, which is just victim playing, which is more or less what Esau's doing, man. Because the thing is Esau basically wants to be the victim in this situation, man. Hey, look, that's why. Imagine the police were shooting niggas down, shooting niggas dead. Innocent niggas be getting dropped left, right, and center for the past for years on end. This year alone, had hundreds of niggas just getting lenged up by the cops. But then the so-called white man's just trying to flip it. A lot of these cops as well, they'll unlawfully killed. They'll do an inquiry into it. They'll find out, well, they'll be discharged or put on death duty, or they'll get punished for it. So they murdered them in the wrong. But then now they're just all of a sudden cops are fucking heroes because one nigga decided to take revenge on them for that. So this so-called white man's playing the victim, man. It's a Wikipedia and it's victim playing it, man. It says victim playing, also known as playing the victim or self-victimization, is a fabrication of victimhood for a variety of reasons, such as to justify abuse of others, to manipulate others, a coping strategy, or attention seeking. So more or less that victim status, the so-called white man's using it to abuse and manipulate others, man. Because now he's a victim. If he goes out and starts legging up jakes, starts locking down ghettos, then they'll say, yo, it's justified, man. These blacks are terrorists. They need to get put down. It says where a person is known for regular victim playing, the person may be referred to as a professional victim. So the so-called white man is a professional victim, man. He's more or less because he can control the media. He's pushing out all these Jakes dying and Black Lives Matter and all these different movements, but then it's more or less just a setup so he can say, okay, these are terrorist groups now. We need to take it's homegrown terrorism, man. We need to take them down, man. It says, let me get this, James 2:13, for ye shall have judgment without mercy, they have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment, man. So this so-called white man, he's had no mercy dealing with Jake, man. And this just all them shootings are just a continuation of it. And him trying to criminalise Black Lives Matter and Jake in general as terrorists is a continuation, man. This so-called white, hey, he was the one who brought them over. He's the one who had them in hardcore bondage. But now all of a sudden, they're like, oh, saying you're they're saying, oh, why have you got hate in your heart? Hold on, you completely destroyed me, man. Give me my shit back, and then we can talk about me not having hate in my heart. Be my slave, and then we can talk about me not having hate in my heart, man. That's nonsense, man. Yo, that's why it says, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment, man. So, hey, we're gonna rejoice in that judgment that so-called white man gets, man. That's why, hey, look, all these things he's doing, these Jakes that he's murdering down. You watch some videos of them Jakes getting legged up, man. You start getting emotional, man. You feel like going out and twisting up some pink necks, bro. So, yo, man, when we finally get a chance to get our hands on these devils, man, and these devils getting judged, then it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. They're going to be it says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be altogether unpunished, man. So these so-called white man, all these ploys and plans that he's got, they're going to come to naught, man. And he's going to get put in hardcore bondage, and he's going to get annihilated, man. Well, I'll leave it there. I'll say, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Don't want to see Apostle Great North, man. Shalom.